This week on GamePron News, Valve and IceFrog announced Dota 2, Sam Raimi's film adaptation of Warcraft is apparently not his top priority, Tenacious D are getting ready to rock BlizzCon, Angry Birds developers Rovio are extra-cranky, David Jaffe doesn't want to play as the Taliban, we caught up with a bunch of people at Game Connect Asia Pacific, and we're here at Brisbane's Manor Bar, where we finally got our hands on the eagerly anticipated Duke Nukem Forever. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen, and like many gamers, I never really thought I'd get a chance to play Duke Nukem Forever. The most vaporous of vaporware seemed dead in the water until its recent respawning under the watchful eye of Gearbox Studios. Randy Pitchford and Steve Gibson have brought the game to Australia for a sneaky peek, and we finally got our chance to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
Duke definitely, he doesn't just dance on the line, he stomps on it, he break dances on it, he even pees on the line a little bit. So I don't know if he crosses the line, we'll find out.
Duke Nukem Forever is currently in the works for PC, PS3 and Xbox 360 and, believe it or not, is due out sometime in 2011. In other news, I'm pleased to confirm that Valve and IceFrog have finally confirmed what everybody has suspected for a while. They're working on a sequel to RPG RTS hybrid Dota. The creatively titled Dota 2 is currently in development for both PC and Mac and is expected to be released sometime in 2011. Now, in case you're not up with your ridiculously popular Warcraft 3 mods, Dota, Defense of the Ancients, sees gamers controlling a single hero, levelling up and collecting gold, that sort of thing. They then use these heroes to defeat armies of AI hell-bent on destruction. The original is apparently one of the most played games in the world, but not everybody is pleased by this new project. Dota has always been a volunteer labour of love. Is it selling out now that there's a big-name publisher behind the franchise? A few years ago, Blizzard made their fans smile just that little bit more when it was announced at BlizzCon 2007 that they were working with Sam Raimi to adapt the Warcraft franchise for the big screen. It's now 2010 and it feels like the project hasn't moved on much beyond that original handshake. In January, Raimi famously announced that he'd quit the fourth Spider-Man movie, which gamers interpreted as a sign that he would start working on bringing Azeroth to celluloid. This week, however, it was revealed that the director has actually signed up on a Wizard of Oz prequel, Oz the Great and Powerful. This will take him out of action for a while, with no word yet on when he might return to Warcraft. Apparently, even when the Blizzard project is a movie, it'll be ready when it's ready and not a moment sooner. Speaking of Blizzard and BlizzCon, this week ended months of speculation as Tenacious D announced that they would be performing at next week's convention. The greatest band in the world will be continuing the fine tradition set by Ozzy Osbourne and The Offspring, treating attendees to an epic rock concert on Saturday night to close their celebration of all things Blizzard. They're promising an earth-shattering set, including the debut of some new and soon-to-be legendary songs. Tickets to the event sold out months ago. If you didn't manage to grab one, hop on over to the Blizzard website and sign up for a virtual ticket to watch the fun and games unfold on your computer or TV. Now, we all know that Rovio's smash hit iPhone game is called Angry Birds, but the developers themselves were left in a most cranky state following a recent Windows Phone 7 promotion. It seems the people in charge of Microsoft's advertising got a little bit ahead of themselves when they used an icon representing the game in a promotional website for their new platform. Rovio were not amused, taking to Twitter with their grievances. A spokesperson had explained that Microsoft put the Angry Birds website on their site without their permission. And that they have not committed to doing a Windows Phone 7 version. Well, not just yet, anyway. Microsoft themselves have remained fairly quiet on the matter, admitting simply that information was mistakenly posted to their website, but that the error has now been removed. David Jaffe, creator of Twisted Metal and the God of War series, picked up a copy of Medal of Honor when it was released this week and logged on for a bit of multiplayer. As the game loaded, he realised that he had spawned not as an American soldier, but as the dreaded enemy Op-4, fighting for the side of the newly renamed Taliban force. He was faced with a dilemma. The outspoken Jaffe took to his computer and tweeted his thoughts, explaining how he simply could not play and would not shoot. Specifically, he wanted a surrender button so that he would not have to play as the enemy. A discussion ensued, with many gamers taking his thoughts out of context, but Jaffe explained that while he acknowledged 99% of the game's power stems from real-world events that he personally brought to the game, he still had a violent reaction when he was expected to kill virtual US soldiers. When asked about the inevitable comparison to the No Russian mission in Modern Warfare 2, Jaffe replied that he was not sure why this new game affected him more. He went on to explain that he was in fact impressed by No Russian, but that he didn't care about mowing down the innocents. In fact, he wanted to see what kind of death animations they had. Jaffe claims he's still a fan of the game despite this little hiccup and squashes arguments that this might be a matter of censorship. "I'd support a game where you play as Hitler," he says, going on to suggest that EA should never have renamed the in-game Taliban forces. The biggest problem, as he sees it, is that it was a little bit too close to the ongoing conflict that's going on right now, and he didn't feel comfortable role-playing that with other live people. While we were up here in Queensland, we spent a bit of time at the annual GCAP conference on the Gold Coast, where the who's who of Australian game developers and some special overseas guests get together to discuss anything and everything to do with gaming, from creation and development through to publishing and marketing. While there, we caught up with some famous faces, including Jay Wilbur from long-term GCAP sponsor Epic Games. They claim he's over here to promote the Unreal Engine, but personally I think it's all just a scam so he can visit Australia.
Oh, having a great time. Love Australia, love coming here, especially this time of year where it's starting to cool down in the US. And here it's just starting to warm up. Here in Gold Coast is especially nice because the beach, which is just over that way, is just absolutely amazing.
We also chatted to developers from She, the Voxel Agents, Half Brick, Ready at Dawn and Double Fine. Stay tuned to GamePron over the next week or so for all the video highlights. Till next week when we'll be in California for BlizzCon, I'm Jessica Citizen and this is GamePron News.